Friday afternoon about 70 miles north of Tampa in Floral City, Florida, there is a fire burning. And before this day comes to an end, most everyone here will know this blaze well. We have all come together to walk on fire. It's something with a long history, as Master Firewalk instructor Gail Bayman explained.
Firewalking has an ancient history. It goes back to the kahunas in Hawaii, in India. The Greeks still do it as a rite of passage, a festival. Many of the indigenous tribes use it as a rite of passage. And firewalking in America has become very popular in the past 20 years. It's a method of learning to walk, to feel your fears and walk through them anyway. And it literally changes people's lives.
Gail's been conducting firewalks now since the early 1990s. The cedar wood will attain temperatures of about 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit at its hottest. Now that'll go down to about 1,100 when the walking begins. The people here this day come from all walks of life. Many are facing serious challenges. Some are cancer survivors. The fire will represent different things to each person who walks on it.
It's taught people how to walk through their fears. People limit their lives by very, what seem insignificant fears to some, but to them it's major. People have, when I had my business, which was quite large, and it was a sales-oriented business, we had all our salespeople trained by going to a firewalk, because the hardest thing to do is learn how to make that first step. And if you could take the first step and walk through fire, you could do anything.
The cost to take part in all of this is about $75. As the sun gets closer to setting, the group works to get the energy going. It usually takes about 3 hours of mental prep for a first-time walker, and like the fire, the wood represents different things. Then it's indoors for something really as challenging as the firewalk itself, walking on glass. The instructor explains that you need to put your foot very lightly on the glass. If you feel any sharpness, move the glass around a bit. When it feels smooth, step down slowly. And for those who did it, you can see the results in their face, and not a single cut. In the distance, a second fire has been lit now to honor the fire that will soon be walked on. But now the sun has set and the drum calls those assembled. The time to walk the fire is almost here. The purpose of all this is simple. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. These people are taking responsibility for their lives. The fire has been tended to, the hot coals made smaller and spread out. Everyone who walks must also tend the fire, and that includes me. Fireworking is something I've done before, about 20 years ago. But I can't tell you for sure what I'll do tonight. Barbara Avicoli will definitely walk, however. She's done hundreds.
Every time I face a fire, you face your fear. And with that first step, you're stepping through that bubble of fear. The key is your inner guidance, if you want to call it that. Some people call it their God voice. But somehow or other, from inside, you know whether you should or not. And if you should, there you go.
Now an instructor, Barbara was treated for 12 years with a rare blood malignancy. Her red cell count on bone marrow biopsies was very bad. That was before firewalking. Now, her count is excellent.
Some say firewalking is a little weird, but the effect it can have on one's life is absolutely incredible.
And so, it begins. And now the time has come for me. You know, that first step is always the hardest. Wow. Hard to put in words to tell you what I feel. Gail has told us that all who walk the fire are now life members of the fire tribe. And we'll end with a memory from Gail and a philosophy of all that you've seen.
The first time I walked across the coals, I knew I walked, but I wasn't really there. So I turned around and I went back and I walked again, just to experience it. And then I walked for the third time just because it was fun. And I was very fortunate. The man that led the firewalk let me stand at the end of the fire. And I got to experience some first-timers walking across, and you could feel the change, the cellular change in their bodies. It literally, firewalking has eliminated years and years of being on a therapist's couch.
I'm Bill Murphy. See you on the next Murphy's Journal.